G'day folks, back again with Baldur's Gate 3. Hope you guys are doing well. The previous episode was, a little bit of a mess, wasn't it? I managed to get out of that predicament somehow. Perhaps maybe I just got lucky and some of those enemies bugged out or whatever, but I'll take it. We're continuing where we left off, guys, exploring Moonrise Towers, but before we even start, let's actually go back and do a long rest. Well, I assume we need a long rest, but perhaps what I could do initially is I could do a short rest.
That put the wind back in my sails.
Okay, so we still have the dislocated shoulder there, which is unfortunate. And I was sort of thinking, well, I did use the elixir of heroism, and then, you know, I've got this heroic condition going on as well. It'd be a bit of a waste if I did the long rest, but you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to do the long rest now and be done with this thing. I assume all we need to do is that long rest to get rid of it. And as usual, we can check in with all of our companions to see if there's not anything that anyone wants to talk about and progress.
Soldier?
Probably not, but you never know. You never know.
Well met.
Also, because we're sort of in a new area, maybe it's not a bad idea to check in on Bolo. Does he ever sell anything different, I wonder? Or perhaps maybe he just has the same stuff. I think he probably has the same stuff. These clubs I want to keep, perhaps maybe at least 2 or 3 or something like that, because I might want to throw some of these clubs into the cells to, you know, let people break themselves free. So I'll keep at least 2. And yeah, I want to just sell a few things, why not? Just make a little bit of cash while we're here. I think that should be enough. Let's balance that. Do a quick barter there. And let's continue speaking to people.
Greeting.
Always at your side.
Well, my day just improved. Did you want something?
Need something?
I'm just wondering if we want to switch up the party a little bit, but I don't know, I quite like rocking the folks that we have currently, so I feel like we could probably just continue with our current composition.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
Alright, there's not really too much going on, so why don't we have a rest? And I might do what someone advised me to do, especially considering, you know, you're doing a long rest just to progress story or, you know, remove conditions and stuff, but maybe I don't need to use any of my supplies. And maybe... Or maybe I could do, like, partial. So if we do partial rest, hit points and spell slots will only be restored up to their half their maximum. You won't regain any short rests. I don't mind that. We've got one more short rest. So we'll see if that removes the condition. If it doesn't, I'm not sure what to do about it, to be honest. Maybe we need to look for a healer or something. So there is the matter of also equipping the Helldusk armor that we got from Damon, but I think maybe we don't need to rush into that right now. And I was sort of thinking maybe Lae'zel might get the armor. But anyway, since we have long rested, we are going to need to just prepare our guys once more. We'll need to pop that on.
Let's get going.
And let's get more long striders on. Yeah, definitely looks like we have managed to remove the issue with our arm there, so that's good. Oh, actually, that's not what I meant to do. I meant to cast on myself. There we go. Cool. So the next order of things is just to check out this area here and to see what's behind these heavy oak doors.
All's well here. The cargo from below has already been taken to the docks.
Cargo from below.
Don't get too close to the prisoners. They're desperate enough to try anything.
To the prisoners, I mean. Any one of them could be elevated to true
I'll take that.
should they
I
accept
love
the
camp
absolute.
supplies.
Then I shall have to keep them busy praying for mercy from other gods, won't I?
What's hiding here?
You're mistaken, surely.
I am not.
But we've seen... what? 5 true souls sent for an audience?
And not a single one came back down from the tower. Must have been unworthy.
What do we have up here, though? Sometimes I can see it, sometimes I can't. Oh, hang on. We've got dried pork sausage and a potato.
It is impossible
And
to keep
towels.
a garment clean down here.
You'll find it all the harder once we're off on the march.
If you think I'm walking all the way to Baldur's Gate without a litter...
Okay, let's go through these doors
Oh, of
and
course. Perhaps our
let's see what we can find. Another dock of some kind, I guess.
Enjoy the view. This feels like it'd stretch all the way to the Sea of Swords on a clear day. If this place ever gets a clear day.
I guess I can't really take anything in this area. Everything seems to be guarded and considered to be stealing if we do take stuff.
Look busy or they'll set you lifting too. Whatever's inside's heavy.
Whatever's inside. Ooh. Cat hole. Let's just maybe send Quoth to check that out. Oh, right. Okay, so leads us all the way up here. Well, I mean, good to know if we ever needed it, but probably not.
No one's stopped me yet. Breathe deep and move.
Okay, not too much going on that side, but perhaps maybe I'll check if there's anything going on this side to see if there's any more loot to be had. I don't think we'll really be able to do anything here. I think we can jump across. But we can jump across here. There's definitely more stuff. The big question I have, though, is whether or not we can actually traverse this area without, you know, some of the light to keep the darkness at bay. Speaking of light, probably need to just chuck that on, just in case. I might break everyone off just to see if we can traverse through this area. Yeah, okay. That's not a thing. Alright, let's exit turn-based mode. So I'm gonna have to come back here whenever we can actually traverse the darkness. Still don't really know what the deal is on that front. Perhaps maybe... I mean, I've heard a thing or two about the lanterns, which,
Come on,
you know,
let's go.
I might not really
Ready.
like
Whatever it takes.
with
All's well that ends.
the whole
Not as bad as
pixie
that.
situation. But perhaps maybe there's another way.
Don't waste a step.
And I'm sort of thinking there's Holson's quest line with removing the curse altogether. Perhaps maybe if we did that, we would be able to then traverse through the entire area unimpeded. Maybe. Let's have a chat with this guy.
I'm afraid you missed the ship, Trousseau, but there'll be another along soon enough. We're already stacking the cargo.
What cargo?
Nothing of note, just supplies for the battle ahead. I've already checked it twice over.
As the symbol glows, power courses through you. Authority.
The cargo's important. Another look can't do any harm.
Right you are, I suppose. Check away.
Alright. Okay, so only some of them we can really have a look at, but not all of them. Ooh, I'll take that. Purple worm toxin. Toxin that deals an additional 1 to 10 poison damage. On a successful constitution saving throw, target still takes half damage. Very rare, apparently. I'm more excited about getting like a like large potion there. Zentarum shipping crate.
A wave of sick familiarity radiates from one barrel amidst the cargo. Tadpoles, sleeping and scarcely aware, but echoing yours 100-fold.
Look at all those tads. Enough to make an army of absolutists.
Well, we can give this a go. We'll reach out, tadpole to tadpole. Yeah, this might not be very good. We only... well, we do need a 14, and this might be a struggle. Oh! Nice!
A pattern of blank minds newly born. They carry only a bare shred of memory, inherited from something older. A sleep of centuries. The birth and destruction of a settlement above forming only background noise to the dream. Until something descended down into the darkness, and the dreamer awoke.
The dreamer.
They came from below. We could destroy them. Or perhaps... No. Annihilation is the only option.
They came from below. So just from what's happened so far, I'm just sort of connecting some of the dots here, but we saw the thing, that organism with the tendrils, and perhaps maybe when they were talking about, you know, a settlement being destroyed or whatever, perhaps maybe they're talking about this tower itself, and that was sort of the beginning of, I guess, the dreamer. And perhaps maybe these tadpoles are in some way part of this organism itself. It would make sense, considering the cultists are trying to deliver these tadpoles. Speaking of tadpoles, I've got a couple to spend. Can I interact with this thing again?
The vat is still, placid. Thousands of tadpoles happily awaiting their hosts.
We'll examine the seal.
The winged serpent of the Zentarim. These must be the goods that Roa agreed to move into the city.
I don't know if we can, like, destroy it or what the deal is on that front. Let's have a chat with this guy.
Stand clear of the cargo. Respectfully, true soul.
What's so important about these boxes?
They're not to be opened until they reach the city. The Absolute smiles on them that follow orders. And I don't plan on being a guard for long, true soul.
Well, you definitely have the attitude of a true soul, at least.
Thank you.
He seems nice enough. Too bad we might actually have to wipe all of these guys out, though. But, yeah, interesting. I'm not really sure if there's anything else we can do with all of the stuff here. I mean, there are a couple of barrels that would explode. I don't know if that might destroy the thing, but let's not be too hasty. I think that's it for the docks. Let's go back in. So, what are our options? Well, there's the stuff that the warden was talking about, which I think maybe we might only be able to access once the entire place is hostile, so we won't worry about that for now. Let's make our way up, and let's see what else we can learn about these cultists.
And the dreams came.
My brothers had the dreams too. Same as me.
I can't recall this acolyte Belub.
Absolute calls us all.
Each pack of recruits they bring in is worse than the last. Can't trust them to sweep the stables, let alone swing a sword.
They have potential. Great warriors have grown from less.
No doubt. Isn't for me to question them above me. I'm sure you know your business. I'll see they get all the help they need, true soul. And they'll need quite a bit.
Wonder if he's talking about these guys here, but anywho. These guys all have this death ward, like, ritual cast on them, so I'm guessing if we do need to have a fight with any of these guys that do have it, it's going to be quite messy for us to deal with. What's going on here?
Might be useful.
Is the canteen worth anything? 3 gold. Recruiting gnolls. Though gnolls verge upon being brute beasts who cannot follow orders couched in even the simplest terms, they can fulfill one important role in an army such as the one we are building, that of vanguard shock troops. Howling gnoll berserkers can be sent ahead in frontal assaults to absorb defenders' spells and missile volleys, exhausting our enemy's ammunition before the arrival of the organized phalanxes of our less savage troops. Accordingly, Ragslin's Hobgoblin Rangers are hereby detached to the wilderness to track down gnoll warpacks, capture each pack's Flind leader, and bring them back in good condition to Moonrise Towers for tadpoling. The Flynns can then be returned to their war packs, where we can count on the rank and file to follow the orders of their leaders, who will then be loyal to the Absolute. 6 such packs could meet our needs. See to it. Disciple Zurel, on behalf of General Ketheric. Zurel. I think that's... Was that one of the orcs that we saw when we met the general? Possibly. Orcs of the Trielta Hills. The recent dismemberment of Agent Moss, True Soul 26, by Lord Herod's guards at the Ringfork Stronghold is a clear indication that our strategy for co-opting the orcs of the Trielta Hills needs to be adjusted. Sending a herald to talk was regarded as evidence of weakness, so we must assume an attitude of dominance in our next attempt. The true soul among us who best understands orcish customs is undoubtedly Sir Yax of Scornable. He shall be sent, backed up by a pair of ogres, to deliver a direct personal challenge to Lord Herod, using as an excuse the dismemberment of Moss. Yax is to defeat Herod and then force him to swear fealty to the Absolute, and in return we shall back Herod in the conquest and alliance of the other 2 Trielta tribes. Inform Sir Yax as soon as he returns from the Werewoods. Werewoods? Disciple Zrel on behalf of General Ketheric. Right. Taking the groves off the table. Dictated to Scribe Yanthus by General Ketheric, druids meddling and meddlesome. I have a history with them that makes me wary of underestimating them. They will certainly not welcome the rise of the Absolute in their vicinity and could become significant obstacles if we don't find a way to take them out of play. I speak here, for starters, of the Emerald Grove and of Cloakwood Circle. So, of course, we know of the Emerald Grove, but I've not really heard about the Cloakwood Circle before. They cannot be easily defeated without a significant diversion of resources, but they can perhaps be neutralized from within. Druids, by their very nature, do not smile, Yanthus, value the balance of natural forces over the welfare of humanity in general, and in the extreme this is expressed by the faction historically known as the Shadow Druids, who favor complete separation of the circles from what they regard as the ills of civilization. Ah, okay, here's a connection. So, I guess they are referring to Korga specifically, right? Because perhaps maybe they were intending for Korga to, well, you know, if Korga had her way, basically seal off the Grove, and the Grove will no longer pose a threat to, I guess, the cult of the Absolute. So, yeah, very interesting that we're finding these connections. I do, you know, regret not being able to pursue the whole, you know, Korga angle when we were back in Act 1, but anyway. We shall identify the current leaders of the Shadow Druids, cultivate them with gifts while intimidating them with threats, and encourage them to see that the wisest and most prudent course is for the Druid circles to stand neutral as the army of the Absolute marches on the blighted cities of the civilized. Disciple Zrel shall select an appropriate agent to parley with the Shadow Druid leaders. Eventually, all shall be infected with tadpoles. So, when we were dealing with Korga, I don't think we really had any opportunity to command her in any way using our illithid powers, I don't think. So, I suppose she hasn't been tadpoled just yet. Invasion plans for Baldur's Gate. A map of Baldur's Gate depicting Upper City, Lower City, and Outer City as far as Worm's Crossing, as well as Grey Harbor and the near course of the Kionthar. And we've read that one already. Okay. Hansif.
It was an honor to walk the shadows at your side. A little more inviting here, though, eh?
All right, this is the guy that came with us while we were in the caravan. Yep. Okay.
No feuding under this roof, true soul. We're all one under the Absolute. More's the pity.
I want to have a word.
You're not the first to brave the dark for the Absolute. The war camps are full to bursting.
I guess the big question now is how many more are there in terms of all these, you know, cultists, because it sounds like they're building an army, and how many are already at Baldur's Gate, perhaps? All right.
In her name, I heard his name. Can I assist you, disciple?
The general has withdrawn to his chapel above. He's not to be disturbed.
Of course, disciple. As always.
Let's do a quick save again. One thing is, obviously, I don't know if there's still that timer once we've spoken to Wulbren. And if there is, perhaps maybe I do need to go and, you know, save people first before continuing. But then I feel like as soon as they run, we might actually find ourselves going into combat. And we really shouldn't be going into combat until we know of a way to make the general mortal. Because if he's just going to revive himself, then that's going to be a big problem for us. Oops, just check what's in here. More quills.
What's inside?
The leadership of the Zentarim. Let's have a read. An excerpt from the ongoing metatext Rebound by Josefa Elgin, a scholar excommunicated from the Church of Denir for her heretical efforts to reconstruct the metatext, her god's annal of lost and hidden knowledge. Despite their protestation to the contrary, it takes no keen eye to see echoes of Banite philosophy in modern Zentarim practice, a strict militaristic hierarchy where all powers flow from the top. Who occupies that position today is the matter of some speculation, for the Black Network's leadership was thought destroyed along with the headquarters at Zentil Keep in 1383 DR. In the following decades, however, a new base of power began to consolidate at the fortress of Darkhold, far to the south. At its center stands the Paraghost, an enigmatic armored figure to whom the Zentarim's rebirth is almost single-handedly attributed. However, their leader, it is clear that whoever their leader, it is clear that this new Zentarim have not abandoned plans for domination so much as recalculated their approach, where once their focus was on the subversion and conquest of nations, the network of today is much more concerned with establishing their stranglehold on the market, a power which crosses borders that are closed to more conventional forces. I have a feeling that we have actually read that one, now that we got to the end. Traveler's Guide to the Sword Coast, Volume 4, The Risen Road. We have definitely seen that one. Absolute outfit. So if we feel like dressing like one of these guys, we could. There's plenty of stuff to read here as well. Marcus, I assume no explanation is needed for just how rare these appendages are, and I trust you shall make good use of them. You have a golden opportunity to please the general. Do not squander it. Access to the unwilling donor has proved difficult since the harvesting, but if I am afforded the opportunity, I shall pass along your gratitude. B. Beheading the Bitterroots. The Grimforge region is an important choke point as it controls access to Moonrise Towers via the Underdark, but Grimforge is occupied by the Duergar Bitterroot clan. Though not numerous, these Duergar are a band of tough combatants and could prove inconvenient obstacles should we need to move military assets quickly through the region. These Duergar must be neutralized. Accordingly, let a team of Orin's crack doppelganger assassins be assigned to the task of killing King Guerdon, the monarch of the Bitterroot clan. After the assassination, the team is to gather Guerdon's head and especially his crown before ensuring that both are hurled into the fathomless depths. The Bitterroots, unable to crown a new king, will fracture into quarreling subclans, the leaders of which can one by one be tadpoled. Disciple Zrel on behalf of General Ketheric. Right, well, they're definitely dividing and conquering throughout all of the different sort of areas and different groups of people, different factions. A rich and fertile land. This ancient map depicts the area surrounding Moonrise Towers in detail, depicting a profusion of local fauna, deer, rabbits, black bears, and flora, with special emphasis placed on areas of prolific foraging. 1 second, guys. Just needed to have a glass of water there, because all this reading is really drying my throat. So all of this stuff seems to be in red, so makes me a little bit worried, obviously, because we do have a scrying eye floating about. But I'm hoping we'll be able to read some of this stuff while the scrying eye is gone. Another thing that we could try to do is, I don't know if this is a thing, but I wonder if I could just take out scrying eyes without attracting like more trouble from elsewhere. But yeah, let's just wait for this scrying eye to finish its patrol over here, and okay, it doesn't really patrol too much, does it? Let's take a look at this one. Balthazar has sent neither word nor notice. Wherever he's gone is a mystery. Needs someone to investigate his chambers, but no doubt he's rigged the thing to high hells. Perhaps hobgoblins? Rigged his room. Why? Why would you do that? And I wonder if this is the room that they're talking about. Maybe they've got a traitor in their midst? Yeah, most certainly doesn't look this way, does it? Oh no, I take that back. A map of Baldur's Gate, depicting Upper City, Lower City, and Outer... Outer City as far as Worm's Crossing, as well as the Grey Harbour and the near course of the Keonthar. Arrows show the intended progress of the armies of the Absolute, with weak points in the city defences marked with X. And then there's this missive, which I do want to read. While we're waiting, I just want to see where else we can sort of potentially traverse. I mean, can't go through there.
That the moon lanterns outside are maintained.
But we can have a chat with all of these guys, obviously. Alright, let's have a read. Gortash. The tone of your recent letter is inappropriate. You may follow the Lord of Tyranny, but I do not answer to him or to you. It isn't the fault of any of the Chosen that the artifacts has gone astray. Unforeseen events occurred, as they always do. I acknowledge your planning mastery and brilliance of mind, but you lack the depth of experience that brings patience and composure. The artifact will be found, our enemies will be thwarted, we will prevail. Now show us that you are reliable as well as brilliant. General Ketheric Thorm. Gortash. Gortash. I don't know. Sounds semi-familiar, but then I'm really struggling to recall who that might be. We're free to go through here. Bunch more stuff. Let's do a quick save.
Hey, True Soul. What's the word? Armies gathered outside. The general giving us marching orders.
Why, soldier? Do you have somewhere to be?
Just keen to get back to the gate is all. I was born there. I want to be the first to put it to the torch.
Jeez.
Seen the view out west from the terrace? All those beasts camped under one banner. That's the Absolute's power. The General's power.
Cheery bunch. Let's check out all of this stuff. Man, every time I see a chest that looks like that, I'm like, oh, what kind of goodies would be in there? But then sometimes you open them and it's just like really disappointing. Okay. So, from here, things are probably going to start getting a little risky. Because we are going to need to have a chat with these people and pretend that we're one of them.
Is to serve those who bring it into being. I will not forget.
Let's see what happens. Necromite. Okay, I guess these might be summons.
In her name, by her design.
Maybe
Can I assist you, disciple?
Ketheric is in there.
General has withdrawn to his chapel above. He's not. General Thorm's prayers and preparations must not be disturbed. The rooftop is off limits to everyone.
Even you, Disciples Realm?
Everyone. Keep watch and ensure that nobody passes. Excellent timing, true soul. The goblins, tell me how they suffered. No, better yet, show me.
Her mind enters yours abruptly, flickering across your memories in a blaze of excitement. She sees the goblins walking free, and a burning rage fans across your mind like wildfire.
Explain yourself.
They won't get far. Let the curse take them. Save us the job of cleaning up their innards. Ooh, okay, that was close.
Very pragmatic, but very boring. Let's see if there's anything interesting in this brain of yours.
She parts the folds of your mind again, touching your wants and hopes, tasting them. Every emotion soaks into her mind's palette. But there is purpose to her exploration. She is searching for proof of your faith.
Okay. We don't really have a lot of deeds that show our faith to the Absolute, that's for sure. Fake it. Fill your mind with love for the Absolute. Prepare to attack. I guess maybe we would be getting into battle if we chose this one. Let's do Persuasion again. Distract her with thoughts of your care for Shadowheart. Oh, yeah, why not? Why not? We could add more to it as well. I mean, let's make use of it. I haven't really used this very much. Maybe now's the time. Oh! Oh! We're just short. I mean, these are the situations where we need the inspiration. Oh. Wow.
You took pity on one of Shah's sorry little followers? Or was it genuine affection? Let's take a closer look.
Damn it.
With the Absolute, your fantasies can become more real than flesh. The pleasures of the mind can surpass those of the body. I have already been blessed to stand in her presence. It was bliss. She gave me everything I wanted.
Everything? What exactly do you want?
To take without asking, to feel without doubting, and to kill without consequence. In a word, freedom.
Freedom? Your only purpose is to serve Ketheric and the Absolute.
I choose to serve, and I'm glad to. Your words are dangerously close to heresy, true soul.
Enough words, time to die. Don't you aspire to rule rather than serve?
Of course. And when Baldur's Gate falls, it won't be long until those that serve General Thorm well will rule the Sword Coast alongside him. You can be among them. I have a mission that will earn you the General's favor.
That's it. Play along. The closer you can get to the General, the closer you'll be to the answers you seek.
Is it true that the General... Sorry, is it true that General Thorm is invulnerable?
Indeed. The Absolute's love for him has made him more than mortal. He is unstoppable.
Well, It so happens that I do have a price if you're going to set me off to do stuff.
You feel her presence in your head again. She grips your mind, squeezing until your vision blurs with pain.
The Absolute's blessings have far greater value than any price you could name. Be wise. Obey.
Okay. What do you want me to do?
There is a relic that General Thorm requires. He sent his most trusted advisor, disciple Balthazar, to retrieve it. The relic is beneath the Thorm family mausoleum. That is where you will find Balthazar. But we have lost contact with him. Go there, aid Balthazar if you can, and bring the relic home.
What exactly was this relic he was sent to retrieve?
It is something that General Thorm desires, and that he has ordered us to retrieve. That is all you need to know.
She's suddenly nervous, on edge. Talking about the relic makes her anxious.
Talking of this relic makes you anxious. Why is that? Voice of the Circle? Sovereign's spores have infused the vocal cords, making them echo with authority? What? I thought we were well, past all of the spores by now. Anyway. Come on. Whew. Yeah, I don't have any more inspiration. That's a big problem for this interaction.
Of the power the relic must hold to be of such importance. General Thorm will not leave Moonrise without it.
If the relic is vital to Ketheric's plans, then you should be giving me more support.
Fine. Talk to the Bugbear Quartermaster. Tell him he's to share my secret stash with you.
Nice. You said you lost contact. What do you mean?
And I accompanied him. It was destroyed shortly after he left Moonrise. Hardly a surprise. We're protected here, but outside the shadows are hungry.
Is there a way for us to get to this place, though, without being consumed by the shadows ourselves? What if Balthazar is dead?
Death would not silence Balthazar for long. But dead or alive, he is lost. Whatever has become of him, it is the relic that matters.
Okay. Well, we'll see if we can go and find him.
The shadows around the mausoleum are deep and hungry. You'll need a moon lantern to survive them. Take one from Balthazar's chambers. But don't pry. The last person who snooped into his secrets lost their head. I believe he uses it as a chamber pot.
No peeking. Alright. So... where do we go? For Balthazar's room, I guess maybe over here? Yeah, okay. So we should be able to check that out in a second, but I do want to have a chat with this Radija. Perhaps maybe, again, I should quick save. And we'll see what this person's all about.
It is not your time yet, Blessed One. The rooftop chapel is reserved for the General's private contemplation, save for those he chooses to ascend.
This must be the place. We have to get inside.
I've heard that those lucky few come back changed.
You are already changed, true soul. Hearing her voice is what brought you here. But above, you will stand in her very presence, Such an honor requires more. Disciples Rel has given you a chance to earn that honor.
What's with the skeletons? Does the Absolute dabble in necromancy now?
Her design does not end at the grave, Blessed One. You will serve, whether you ascend or fall, and I find use for even the fallen. I hope that is some comfort to you.
Okay, we can have a read of this, apparently. Let's just quickly check it. Now come we in reverence before the Absolute and her true souls, rejoicing in the three glories of belonging and reveling in the requital for deeds duly done in the Absolute's name. Glory the first is our purpose, filling us with determination to bring to all mortals the joy of reverence of the Absolute. Glory the second is our obedience, the bliss of knowing that we exalt ourselves when we surrender our wills to the Absolute's commands. Glory the third is our dominion, for obedience to the Absolute places us above other mortals, and it is righteous to command them. And when through our obedience we have achieved dominion, the Absolute grants us permission for revelry without restraint to express our joy and pride in the Absolute's service. Alright, well, so that middle section is still a bit of a mystery, isn't it? And then there's a whole bunch more. But, we may as well come here and check this place out. I wonder if these guys say anything else. Gluric.
You can pass. In the name of the Salute.
The tower doesn't stink like an overstuffed cemetery. Which means Balthazar hasn't returned. So why are you here, instead of out there looking for him?
Alright. Well, let's check out what's going on. Whoa! I was not expecting all of this. Are they gonna follow us in here? I suppose probably not. Bring everyone in, but I am going to get Blue to do his own thing. And we are also just going to close the door in case we need to, you know, steal stuff or do anything that we don't want anyone else seeing. So here's the moon lantern, but I don't know how I feel about it just yet.
About the Prince Orpheus, maybe. Lae'zel could make sense of it.
Yeah, okay, another one about Orpheus. Let's have a read. What? It said that I started a conversation. I guess maybe I need to bring it to Lae'zel before we can even do anything about it, so let's not worry for now. Yeah, very pleasant room. Attention Acolytes. A reminder, Acolytes are permitted entry to my chambers for the sole purpose of collecting moon lanterns. My library is not to be tampered with the Absolute... while the Absolute appreciates your eagerness to learn, my bookshelves do not. Any requests to borrow from them must be given to me in advance, and are like to be refused. Should you desire information on poisons, do not think to read any tome on the subject here. They are inclined to grant more knowledge than the written word could provide. Remember, the Absolute's purpose is better served by a beating heart than a poisoned mind. Though if you choose death, I will ensure you serve her still. Note: install a drain beneath library's conventional medicine shelf. It's wasteful to let all that blood seep through the flagstones, and it will rust spikes besides. A line slashes through the above, the same hand in fresh ink below. Disregard, the smell gives me sweet dreams. That's disgusting, man. Ooh. I'm still, yeah, not sure about the moon lantern.
What's that?
Oh, maybe there's a secret room or something in here. Oh my goodness. Alright. So the good thing is we haven't triggered anyone else in the area. Good thing we've, you know, closed the door behind us. What do we do? I suppose we do Hunter's Mark. Ooh, okay. Hang on. Let me just take a quick look at that. Lost condition, undead fortitude. When reduced to 0, regain 1 hit point instead of dying. Okay. Interesting. Okay.
Alright, Karlak. It's go time.
Karlak, get in there.
Down the hatch.
Let's end that, and that.
Might will prevail.
Good. Alright. Presumably, all of them will maybe spawn even more of these undead. So let me do yet another quick save. I'm going quick save crazy right now, but I think it's needed. I don't really see any more like corpses, like whole corpses that might spawn into enemies, but I could try these things again though. Potion of healing recipe. I think we've read this one before. It's just a regular potion, right? So hang on. This small recipe has helped me through a lot without my scales, my hide smarts, and tears with the slightest touch. While it has never healed me fully, every drop soothes. I hope it might similarly soothe whatever ails you. Someone else has filled the rest of the page with repetitions of, why is it always healing potions, this goddamn primitive village, and the occasional someday I'll kill that mongrel of a master. Luckily, the recipe itself is still mostly legible. Recipe for 1 potion of healing. I think we've seen all of this. Yep. Ooh. Wow. That was extremely lucky. We didn't even get any checks for any of this. So hang on. We had conventional medicine, which brought up the spikes. Or about galvanic interrogations. Was that what we did just before? Yeah, we had this thing just lighting up. Maybe we need to hit some of the other ones as well. A swift and sudden death. A scorched book, its pages singed and tattered, though its contents have been rendered illegible by some unknown phenomenon. It is still possible to make out the dedication. To those who doubted me, may the storm claim your final breaths and the earth reject your rest. Musty tomes. Poisons and venoms. Yeah, let's
Where am I needed?
push people back a little bit.
Damn, it's good to be alive.
Just to make sure people are out of the way.
I'm alive, so that's progress.
Okay, that's lit up. Ah, I see what's going on. So this is a case of... Oh no. No.
Best be on my way.
No. Get all these guys
Defender of the people.
moving.
Keeping pace.
Ah.
Still breathing.
Alright.
Despite everything.
Let's go there and maybe... Okay, is it starting again? Maybe. Maybe I just need to let it run its course. Some of our guys are going to be poisoned. That's okay. I think we can take that damage. Otherwise, we can take like an antidote if we really need it. Yeah, okay. It's off now. I mean, we're looking pretty good. We didn't really take any damage there, so... Let's have a look. Recipe of drow poison. This could be useful. I say that as I still haven't put in the time to check out the alchemy system in this game. This entry from the Master of Alchemy, Haskin Zesalafin, begins with the formula of drow poison. Combine essence of swarming toadstool with any salts, and lo, you will have yourself a dose of drow poison, as dark as the goddess's Loth's temper. Time was I would grimace at the prospect of poison. Not that I think it's cowardly. I just didn't think that that was my legacy. The scaleless dragonborn who wrote some books that jilted scum used to poison their heartbreakers. My old friend Nicrus tried to convince me that such poison better equip adventurers for danger on the road. What a crude, happy-go, fuck reality attitude adventurers make up a Silver of the Sword Coast's populace. Mostly, it's folk trying to get by, and in this day and age, that means poisoning your ex-lover, or some man you stole your prize goat, or some woman you who called you a crybaby little bitch behind your back. Well, I say, go ahead, use my work however you want. There we go. Musty tomes. I mean, surely that's another trap. But... oh? An ancient altar. And we need to insert an item in here. What item could that be, though? Not sure. I'm guessing this might open that. Should we do another quick save? I'm probably not going to hit the switch just yet, because there's so much more in here that we can probably see and take and investigate. Requests from the next caravan. Any works by Mordenkainen must catch up on current events. No Volo, better a century of ignorance. Hin Vellum holds ink like no other, could harvest from an acolyte. New copy of Swift and Sudden Death for a library. Current volume badly scorched. I wonder if an hourglass would be worth any money. Nope. Or what about this stuff? Okay, we can't really take those. It's an urn just sitting over here. A gilded mortar and pestle. Oh, hang on. Where did it go? Still, only 1 gold. It's too bad. What can we see through this?
With my little eye.
Nothing.
Nothing of note, really. What's in here?
Goblin troops, though crude and a bit dim, are valuable because they are adaptable and can be fitted into a number of different military roles, excelling as archery skirmishers and war cavalry scouts. If rigorously drilled, some can function as disciplined phalanxes armed with half-pikes, and even the ones who can't be trained to march in step can serve as prime catapult fodder. That's so bad. The key to recruiting a tribe of goblins is their profound respect for their priests, who lead the tribe members in the worship of all-conquering Maglubiet. Therefore, let the high priests of the 7 tribes of the southwest Sword Coast be invited to a grand council, a feast, where they will be well-fed, well-flattered, and well-lubricated with jugs of plonk laced with a mild paralytic. The priests will awaken with new guests in their crania and be led into a docile devotion to a new and greater god than Maglubiet, the Absolute. And trust me, where the priests go, the warriors will follow. Advisor Balthazar. Alright, well, we didn't really get any checks for traps or anything, so assuming it's going to be okay for us to lockpick this, let's cancel out of that. Switch our gear for a second. Nice. Ooh. Derivation Cloak. Deadly Derivation. When you poison a foe, heal yourself for 1d4 hit points. Don't exactly use poison very often though, but I mean, it is welcome. Perhaps maybe one of our melee characters who are, you know, for the most part, holding poison vials. Hang on. Yeah, poison. Poisoning foes. Right. Let's head in this direction. Again, one more quick save is in order. And we'll flip this switch, or lever, and we'll see what happens. Okay. Doesn't seem to be anything out this way, though my concern is that there's definitely something behind this bookshelf. How do we get there is a bit of a mystery though. Ooh, look at that. Okay, so there might actually be a way, if you can make the jump, to maybe climb the tower from the outside? Yeah, there's even like this root system here that we could perhaps take to get to the very top, maybe. I don't know if it'll take us to the very top exactly, but let's head back for a second. And I am sort of curious to see if we can find Balthazar or not without using the lantern. I suppose maybe I might need to pick this up if I do want to find him. Well, let's try it. Seek protection from the shadow curse. Yeah. I mean, is there even any other way? I don't know. Also, I wonder if I should retry some of this stuff. So we've seen the poison, and the poison sort of activates for a while. Which means after the poison is activated, do we then sort of interact with the other two shelves? Maybe. Maybe that's the answer. Let me just quickly retry this. Okay, and then that. Surely there's a way for us to maybe activate all three of them at once. Perhaps, I'm just thinking here, just thinking out loud, but perhaps maybe the conventional medicine needs to be the last one, and the galvanic interrogations, that one is one where these corpses were revived, and we perhaps shouldn't have killed them, And perhaps maybe what we should have done is tried to activate some of these other traps to open the door. But, having said that, I think there probably could be another way in. I mean, there's plenty of other doors here. So maybe we still have a chance at some point. Anyway, guys, I think I'm going to take a break. When we come back, we need to sort of make a decision on where to go next. I would say probably looking for Balthazar and using this lantern to traverse the area a little bit more. I kind of want to lift the curse first thing if we can find clues to that, but I don't really know where things are really going to take us, so I might just, you know, let things happen. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this one. As usual, drop me a like if you did. Chuck us those comments as well, obviously. Stay true, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.